What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. Back on the boxing grind one time for the one time. Y'all know what it is. Speaking on Terence Bud Crawford, and Terence Bud Crawford is that guy. And I talk about frequently how some fighters' verbiage, words, make guys, make fans and sway people's opinion before a fight. Crawford's calm demeanor, in the way he says something, it's on some gangster type ish. Now, guys that know what the real gangster ish is, not showing the Draco, sounding like Mike Epps in the T Grizzly effort video. I mean, like real gangster shit. Like when, real gangsters say something, it ain't never too high, it ain't never too low. It's at that perfect, groove, that little groove zone. They say something that they not animated, they not rah-rah. They just, you feel when some real gangster shit is said that it's going to happen. And that's Terence Crawford. I'm not calling him a gangster or nothing like that. His demeanor is gangster-ish. It's just like, hey, it is what it is. Wait and see. It's simple shit like that. They ask him about Terence, ask him about Earl Spence. Hey, we have to wait and see. Ask him who the number one fighter is. Oh, that's Terence Crawford. It's never high, it's never too low. It's at that perfect frequency that he says stuff at. And his demeanor is very confident. And, of course, he has the skills to pay the bills. We all know that. And the only question about going to 147 is physically how he would translate. And will he shore up some of those defensive deficiencies that he do have, that he's starting to cover the holes in. I used to think like him and Earl Spence was a night and day fight, but not anymore. I'm not just saying that because because of his demeanor, but it's just how he carries himself. His team is as confident as him, and his ability. Like, he's very confident that he's going to walk to 140 and do the same thing he did at 147. Now, there's certain guys that say stuff that might get all raw. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to F you up. You be like, I don't know. Or sometimes it gets you all in. And then when fight night come up, where it's time to prove, put the iron to the ass, they don't show up. Or they might fight a different way. Crawford just seems to know that it's his. And I get that authentic feeling from him, that genuine feeling that 147 is Terence Crawford's. And the only real thing that's standing between him and supremacy at 147, in my opinion, is the fights. But will his promoter let him get those fights? You feel me? But just his demeanor, like, he is just something that I've never seen as far as these new generation type of fighters. You never hear him duck, dodge, nothing. I mean, it was at one point in time that he said if he was allowed to, he'd have moved up to 160 to fight Triple G. And that went under the radar because people didn't take him serious about that. But when he said it, it felt real. Like, he feels real. Him and Earl Spence is going to be, if it comes down to that, and whoever gets to keep Thurman first will more likely be Earl Spence, and they actually make a fight happen between Earl and Terence Crawford, that's a dog-eat-dog fight. I mean, dog eating with your paws and your mouth. That's gonna be a dog fight. Somebody got to save them from each other. That's gonna be a brutal fight. That's gonna be a fight of just brutality. Like, I'd be surprised if somebody quit in that fight. Seriously. Because I'd just be surprised. They both have that same demeanor. But the thing that they both have self-belief. There's no doubt in their mind that they very confident. And that's in a grand scheme of style versus styles, I mean, you paying $100 for a pay-per-view, that's $100 pay-per-view. When you talking about that fight, just off a matchup, off of physicality, off of demeanor. They might not have the most flamboyant personalities to sell that fight, but if I'm paying $100 and I can get a great fight at probably the first original weight classes, one of the most historic weight classes, one of the most important weight classes probably other than heavyweight, with a welterweight at welterweight, where that's the last weight class they wear 8-ounce gloves at, between two power punching, two great athletes, two strong-minded, strong-willed, large heart fighters, you gonna see a decapitation in that ring. I mean, those guys might fight and they might never be the same after that fight. That's on some Matisse, Danny Garcia type of ish. I'm not talking about the fight style. I'm talking about neither one of Matisse and Danny Garcia was the same after that fight. It was a decline after that fight. I think it might be 5 times that. It might be a quintuplet damage of that. Because both of them some dogs. And Crawford coming. And I don't think it's a lot of room for Keith Thurman here right now. Because we haven't seen him fight. And if you ain't in our memories fresh for most boxing fans and media, you know, we tend to forget about you. So he got to make a statement versus Jesse Vargas, then Sean Porter, and then get in that mix. But this dog right here, him and Earl going to be a hell of a fight. You know what? I'm going to segue into a video about that. Them dudes is going to be one hell of a fight. Because Crawford's self-belief trickles down from himself to his trainers to his family and confidants. I mean, I haven't seen nothing like that in the last 20 years. Or last 17 going to 18 years. I haven't seen nobody with the quiet confidence and self-belief that he has other than Earl Spence. But Earl Spence ain't as boastful as he is. But he's quiet boastful in Terence Crawford. And man, Bud is simply going to be a problem. That's all I